That's how before I met Bud. That's how I met the family.
The family.
And then when Bud came along years later, it was already in his blood. So when he finally got introduced to the gym at 7 years old,
7.
you already knew he had it.
You had him since 7?
7 years old.
Whoa.
So, but I knew him before he was born because his mom was pregnant and all that, you know. But when his time came,
right,
he walked in the gym. You already knew he's gonna be something different because that family is something different, you know.
Yeah. So you knew him since he was 7. So you can confirm because I seen his mom's right. She said a story on one interview. She was like, Bud was bad. I used to pay kids to come up and fight him in the neighborhood, and if you can fight him, I give you some money. And Bud, you can confirm that story.
Oh,
Bud
yeah,
was
definitely.
dusting off everybody his mama
Man,
brought
I'm
up.
telling you, man. You know how kids did, and they were running up and down the block in the alleyways, and by the store. I still got the store over there, 3 or 4 alleys. Everybody gathering here. He was just one of those kids, man. I did it. His uncle did it. His dad did it. His mom did it. So when his time came, he did it.
And he did it well,
he did
too.
It very well, very well.
Man, what's something about Bud that the cameras don't catch, man, that people might want to know?
He's a genuine good dude, man. He's a good dude. Bud is a good dude, man. He got a heart. You know, his grandma and his mom, he's raised up in the church. His uncle is the pastor. You know, if you look real close, man, sometimes you'll see that Bible with Bud.
Okay.
And he stays in his Bible, you know. He tried to live as much as by the Bible as he can, and he always thinks before he acts. Always. Any debate, major decision, or anything that got to do with a life-changing decision, he will go and ask for some advice from it. He'll get it from if he can't get it from nobody, he'll go to his Bible, man.
That's all right, right there. Terrence,
man, I call Bud right now, man. Man, you got your Bible? You been reading your Bible? I got it, Bo. I've been reading it.
Hey, shout out to Crawford, man. We got to get you on the front page one day when you ain't busy, brother. Man, that's dope, though. You hit him at any given moment, and he got the good book with him.
He got the good book with him.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. I swear to God, man. Hey, shout out to Bud on that note, bro. So let me ask you. So you was with him during the amateurs. You was with him through all the sparring wars. You was with him through that first contract signing with Top Rank, man. What was the headache like knowing you training this killer, but they can't really get the fights you trying to get him, you know what I'm saying? And you know, but you still dealing with the killer and the business at the same time.
Excuse me. Man, you know, it's to me, because that was our first time, right? Our first time ever getting into the limelight like that with contracts and big promotional companies.
Yeah.
And, you know, so they put a fast one on us. You know what I'm saying? They you know, me being illiterate to the business end of it, and the guy that we did have, Cameron Duncan, he was like, "Oh, it's good, don't worry about it, it's good." It turned out to be good, and it actually turned out to be even better for us because of the fact that how everything played out. How, okay, he's on that side of the street, we on this side of the street, you know. Or why Bud didn't go with all those other guys that he came out the Olympics with. Mm-hmm. You know, why he didn't follow the leader over there, because that's not him.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to go the way that we see fit.
Yeah, for sure.
But then when we got to a point to where okay, we didn't cleaned out 2 divisions, where the rest of the guys, they over there. Are they okay? All right. Well, we telling our promoter, make the deal to fight those guys over there. We don't got no problem. If you ever look at it, Bud always asked for those guys over there.
He did.
Always asked for them. And then it was always an excuse before the fight can get made. So, but.
Well, me being in the business a little bit, right, because I tried to promote it a little bit, so I understood why he couldn't get those fights across the street. Now, just because of the business side, because, you know, Al Heyman, if, you know, Bud would have came through and did what he did while he was under Top Rank, then Al Heyman couldn't roll with Bud because he was with Top Rank. You feel me? And then vice versa. So I can understand why they ain't let the man fight. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But that was back. Do you like that about nowadays, where you got to be on the right side of the street to make the right fight happen, or back in the day you just scrapped because both of y'all was hard?
Well, it's got its goods and it's got its bads.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So the good part about it is you got somebody to fight wherever company that you at. The bad part about it is they got the best one in that weight class or they got another champion in that weight class that you want to try to unify with or make undisputed with, that's where the problem comes in at. Because they don't want to do business with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be the interest of the fighter, not the interest of the fucking promoters.
All day long,
you know
for sure. Yes, sir.
If you the promoter and you figure you got the best fighter, fuck it, man. Let's go over there and make this fight happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Those guys wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
They scared.
They wasn't doing that, so we had to do what we had to do.
Damn. I know this is a crazy question, man, but was there ever one, even though we know Bud undefeated and he always handled his business, was there ever a fight that y'all was in where you might go, damn, Bud, if you don't turn it up, we might lose this one?
Kavaliskis. The Mean Machine.
The Mean Machine. He did say Mean Machine hit hard as hell. That's the one where he dropped, but he pushed him. He tripped. It was a slip because it wasn't really from no punch. He slipped over his foot. It was Mean Machine.
Mean Machine, that motherfucker just kept coming, and he wouldn't stop. And it's just like the first couple rounds, he just had Bud's number because he would punch before Bud and he would punch after Bud. He would time me in between. It's like, damn, dog, man, you need to pick it up.
Yeah. Because I watched the fight. I watched the fight, bro. I became a fan. I ain't gonna lie, I always keep it real on the front page. I became a fan of Terance, bro. I've always loved the sport, but you know when you don't hit Coleman or that main card, you really don't see who's fighting. You know what I'm saying? But when I first laid eyes on Bud, he did Gamboa in. That was my coming out party for knowing who Bud was. We had a fight party at the homie house. I ain't even gonna lie. I knew who Gamboa was, and I was like, I don't know. The brother looked like he could do something, but that's Gamboa though. You feel me? But bro, when he went out there and dog Gamboa, I was like, this little nigga the truth right here. Ain't nobody gonna whoop it because Gamboa was the dog back then. He was the man. How you feel about reaching that level right there? You knew it was over for Gamboa.
Let me give you this funny ass story, dude.
Come on now, then.
This is funny as shit. I think we was like 12-0 or 11-0, something like that. Gamboa was a headline. We was fighting on the undercard. We did our first 8-rounder, and so Gamboa won, Bud won. So we sitting out in the audience. We like Bud, like man, let me, I want to meet Gamboa, man. I want to take a picture with him. We sitting around and shit, man. Everybody clearing out. I said, man, let's go. No, man, I want to meet Gamboa. Man, fuck him. I said, you might fight that motherfucker one day, dude. Man, let's go, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I want to meet him. I said, dude, you might fight that motherfucker one day. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, man. So he's steadily looking back at the door like they going to open it up and say, come on in and take the picture. I said, every time I tell him, remember that day, dog? He's like, yeah, I remember that day, man.
Hey, man, I love the stories we hear on the front page, man. That shit is dope, man.
That was a crazy day.
He waited around for Gamboa.
He wait to come out.
And you was like, boy, come on. You going to whoop his ass later on in life. Come on. Don't wait on this boy. I love that story,
that was in Atlantic City, man.
Wow.
Atlantic City.
I love that story, bro. Hey, Terrence, you see, he told you right, bro. You ended up putting hands on it because he had you waiting, man. You feel me? Like you was just a groupie out there. We don't play that about Bud, man. But
now what was the question? I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying, man, that story took me deep. Now I done forgot the question. But I do have another follow-up question because, I work quick on the front page. Now, when you building a killer, right? And you know this man hard. He listen to everything. You tell him he do everything to the T. And as you start to get 14-0, 15-0, 16-0, 17-0, sometimes 20-0, I know a fighter can start smelling their own shit. Like, hold on, man, you really can't tell me nothing. I'm in here working. Is there ever a time where you had to be like, Bud, I don't care what your record is, homie. You better go over there and do these workout right here. That's going to help you win. Did he ever jump out of line at any time? Because he was smelling the sauce?
No. See,
even though he's entitled because he put the work in. Right. You feel me? But you know how some fighters and trainers,
No, Bud never, we had our arguments and we had the pullbacks and everything. But one thing about me and Bud and the team, man, it was like, it was on the job training. It was on the job learning.
Oh, JT.
So we didn't have a big trainer behind us or tried to show us which way to go. We had to figure it out every day, working out. How many rounds to do here? How many rounds to do there?
Wow.
How many weeks we out? We 6 weeks out. All right, let's do this much. Oh man, we're doing too much. That's too soon. We shouldn't be doing this many rounds. All right, let's cut it back. Or get to this round. Get to this week in the camp and be like, oh, we need to pick it up. Oh no, we don't want to peak too fast. No. So that give and take throughout the years, man, it kept us humble. more than anything, it kept him humble because we learned it together, you know. And so whenever, if anything comes up, we can always go back and say, well, this is how we did it when we was at this level, or this is how we did it when we was at that level. Let me give you a good example.
For sure.
Just the other day, I don't know if you know a fighter I got by the name of Lester Martinez.
Is that the one came by the barbershop that one day too, when you first came?
No, I don't think he was in there.
Okay.
Lester Martinez, he just fought and Billy. He fought Buzz Undercard with Canelo. Okay, so I was talking to him. I said, "Yeah, man, I'm just matter of fact, I'm on the phone with these guys so we can schedule our next camp because, you know, he got a little tired. He was like, well, if anybody know how to do camp, it's us. We got that shit down to a T." It took years for him to say that. Years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can believe it.
But now we got it down to a T because of the ups and downs that we had going through the camp, and for him to even think about, or myself to him, I wouldn't even do that. Or he wouldn't even do it because, hey man, we built this shit together.
Man, and that's how it's supposed to go, bro.
Yeah.
When you both come out the mud together, you celebrate the blood together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
And that's a bar right there on the front page. You know what I'm saying? You come out the mud together, you share the blood together. You know what I'm saying? Nah, cause that's dope, bro. Cause I love y'all relationship, and me now knowing that you had him since 7.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I thought maybe it was like maybe 13, 14, no. Since 7. You still in grade school. You feel me? Yeah. So to see that relationship go for so long, because a lot of fighters, they switch trainers throughout their whole. Why do you think that is though? When they switch, you think the chemistry go wrong, or the fighter? You think the fighter
sometimes the fighter get beside themselves. You know what I'm saying? Figure they missing something.
Right.
You know, but really in reality, man, if you got that, you listen to me, fighters.
Listen.
If you got that amateur trainer that got you to that amateur national title, he can get you to a world title too. You know what I'm saying? He need a chance just like you got a chance.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all hear that, you amateur fighters? If the boy got you to be an amateur champion, he can get you to be a world champion. You just got to stay down like a bloodhound. You feel me?
For real.
Man, I know everybody's seen the logo at the bottom of the screen on the front page. That's right, baby. Alky Water. Now y'all can scan that QR code and make sure y'all test some of the crispness water out there, man. Tell them the front page sent you, and it's how we keep everybody freshly hydrated on the show, baby. Alky.